There is a lot of new content to analyze in 1923 Season 2, Episode 3, including some of the most sinister moments in the series. Taylor Sheridan's Western prequel, which takes place about a century before Yellowstone, depicts the Dutton family at a critical juncture in its history, with the ranch facing multiple threats. While Spencer Dutton and his new wife Alexandra travel in equally dangerous ways in the hopes of reuniting in America, the Duttons in Montana deal with the harshness of winter and their faction rivals. In order to avoid giving viewers the Spencer and Alex chemistry that made Season 1 so amazing right away, Taylor Sheridan has made 1923's second season a slow burn. Both have encountered horrific conflicts on their respective treks to Montana. While Alex spends a large portion of Episode 3 navigating the harsh immigration system at Ellis Island, Spencer is entangled with the Italian Mafia in New York and is compelled to travel to Fort Worth in order to deliver a package. The harsh winter is still causing the Duttons who are still at the ranch to fall apart. The third episode of 1923 Season 2 concluded on a huge cliffhanger, revealing a plot point that had been hinted at throughout the episode. In the episode, Alex Dutton's journey culminates in her arrival in New York without the necessary documents to enter the country freely. As a result, she must go through the unsettlingly impersonal immigration process, which provides some insight into the realities and expectations of entering the United States. With a brutally realistic portrayal of entering the nation during that era, this is a major segment of the episode. Several people warn Alex to be wary of pickpockets when she lands in New York, but she arrives at Grand Central Terminal without any issues. After buying her ticket, she survives until her train is almost ready to arrive. But in the last scene of the episode, she enters the women's restroom while a cunning-looking man appears to be cornering her. She'll have to fight this man to get to her train in time, which is almost here. Luca and Spencer Dutton encountered some problems with Luca's family, the Italian Mafia in New York, in Episode 2 of Season 2 of 1923. The two were dispatched to deliver a package to Fort Worth, Texas, but they were stopped when they came across an armed roadblock. Spencer gave up on the mission, claiming that Luca's family was conspiring to have him killed and that they would not be able to pass. Nevertheless, Luca persisted because he felt he had to do whatever it took to support his family. Luca lost his life as a result of the endeavor, but Spencer was correct. In recent episodes, Elizabeth Dutton has encountered her own fears. In Episode 1 she encounters a mountain lion, and in Episode 2 she is bitten by a rabid wolf. After receiving a shot from the doctor, Elizabeth concludes she can no longer endure the harsh winter and has had enough of ranch life. She informs Jack that if he loves her, he can accompany her on her trip to Boston. He sets up his family's separation in the upcoming episode by insisting that he must stay with them. Zane survives his near-death experience and returns to the Dutton ranch, but his troubles don't stop there. Fortunately, the doctor is still there to tell him that he has a subdural hematoma after assisting Elizabeth. Zane's brain wound is swelled up and needs to be drained or he will die. The bad news Jacob shares with Zane is that the doctor does not have anesthesia on hand, even though he has the drill to finish this procedure. Zane will have to go through this process while he is awake, which will be extremely painful. Tiana Rainwater, who is probably the ancestor of Thomas Rainwater from Yellowstone, is still at large and is traveling through Oklahoma in an effort to get to Mexico and evade the law. She makes it to the Texas border in this episode. Renault and Marshall Kent are still pursuing her, but they appear to be having ideological disagreements that could lead to their split later in the season. Which man can get his hands on her first will be the question for the rest of 1923. Most importantly, after everything happens, Tiana Rainwater must find a way back up to Montana. Since Spencer lives close by, he might wind up assisting her and developing a cautious alliance with her, hinting at what will happen at the end of Yellowstone. This would demonstrate how the Duttons and Rainwaters developed a relationship in 1923.